Alright guys, so now that I've finished my Eastern European travels, I'm ready to give you guys my opinion in my verdict on my personal ranking of which ones I like the best. I've went to 8 different Eastern European cities and Central European cities, 9 if you count Istanbul, I guess. And yeah, I just want to give you guys my personal impressions and my personal verdict on each of those. And also some of the Western European cities I've been to as well, even though I haven't been to that many Western European cities. And maybe just to do an overall ranking as well. But yeah, let's go with the Eastern European cities. So I'm going to rank them 1 to 9. I'm including Istanbul as well. So, okay, my number 1 Eastern European city that personally I enjoyed the most and I recommend to travelers is Prague, Czech Republic. When I was in Prague, I felt like this city is just amazingly beautiful, lots of history, it's very walkable, it's very affordable. Yeah, so I mean, it's probably gotten more expensive now. I went there 10 years ago, but at the time, I mean, it was really nice, and it was, yeah, things were cheap, great beer, great food, great scenery. Yeah, Prague is a very walkable city. It's also really beautiful, has lots of history. People were friendly, and yeah, it was affordable at the time. I don't know about now, but yeah, I think Prague would probably be my number 1 pick from my personal favorite Eastern European city. And the number 2 after that would be Split, Croatia. Yeah, Split was really beautiful, nice. When I went to Croatia, I guess I didn't know what to expect in Croatia, but this was again 10 years ago. Things may have changed now, but at the time I went, yeah, I felt like Croatia was an amazing place. People were nice, spoke decent English. It was affordable. Again, it's another, like, Eastern European cities generally are pretty affordable, so not that expensive, and just really beautiful. Like Split and Dubrovnik along the coast, the Mediterranean coast. The weather was really nice. Overall, just like a nice city to just relax in. And there's some history there as well, because Split used to be the kind of the palace of the Roman Emperor Diocletian. So one of the Roman emperors actually stayed in that place. It's called the Dalmatian coast. So yeah, it's really beautiful place. I love the coastal scenery, the weather, the affordability. People were friendly and everything. Just the whole climate and the atmosphere, like, really enjoyed my time in Split. So that would be my number 2. My number 3 pick probably be Istanbul, actually, since I'm counting Istanbul. So Istanbul, Turkey, it just has so much history. It was the capital for 3 different empires, right? The Roman Empire, Byzantine Empire, and the Ottoman Empire. It was the capital for, like, yeah, for over 1,000 years. Out of one empire or another, it was the capital for like 1,000 years. So Istanbul has so much history. Yeah, since it's right between the edge of Asia and Europe, it's very cosmopolitan, very diverse. It's such an interesting mix, right? Between it's a Eurasian, basically. Europe and Asian cultures kind of mixing together, right on the edge. I still consider it. I think people still consider Istanbul like a European city, but yeah, I think I would include it as a European city. But at the time I went, it was raining, so that was a little bit regretful. But yeah, I recommend everyone to visit Istanbul at least once in their lifetime, because it's just a place with yeah, so much history, diverse mix of peoples and language and culture, and it's just a really big city too. I think it has like over 10 million people or something. It's a really big city. Probably the biggest European city I've been to is Istanbul. So if you count as European, which I do. So yeah, Istanbul will probably be number 3 on my list, just because you have to. I think I recommend everyone to visit Istanbul at least once. It's just the history and the culture and yeah, everything together. It's a really diverse mix. Okay, number 4 is Krakow, Poland. I really enjoyed Krakow, Poland. I think it has really nice history, because it used to be the capital of Poland for like centuries before Warsaw. The weather was good when I went there. I'm not sure if it's good all the time, but it was good when I went there. Beautiful natural scenery, very clean. One of the cleanest cities I've ever been to. It's close to Japan in cleanness actually, which is really amazing. People are friendly, nice, relatively affordable. Yeah, I mean, it's not as affordable as like some of the other Eastern European cities, but relatively speaking compared to Western Europe, yes. And oh yeah, so Istanbul also has a good diverse mix of food as well. But yes, also Poland has good food too. You guys like German food, Poland has some of that, but also its own unique cuisine and some Ukrainian type influences in the cuisine as well. So yeah, I would have to say for the history, the nature, scenery, affordability, and yeah, reasonably affordable, I guess. So the mix of everything and the cleaning, how clean it was and everything, it was a nice city. So I like Krakow. Put that as number 4. So number 5, 6, and 7 are all pretty close, I guess. Oh yeah, actually no. Let me go with number 5. Okay, Budapest. Yeah, Budapest was actually pretty good. I like Budapest. It's not as walkable as Prague. It's still just as beautiful as Prague though. It's like yeah, Prague and Budapest are both really beautiful cities, but just Budapest is not as walkable as Prague is. It's also maybe a little bit more expensive in my recollection, like 10 years ago when I went there. But yeah, it's got the history, it's got the charm, good nightlife. So it's got the party scene going there, decent food. Yeah, it's like I put Prague higher just because like I like Czech. Like Czech beer was better, honestly, and it was more walkable and everything, and maybe a little bit more affordable. But yeah, Budapest, yeah, not quite as walkable as Prague, but still really beautiful. Still got the history, and maybe not as much as Prague actually. Maybe Prague still has a little bit more of that, but still, Budapest is a nice place. Yeah, so you got decent food. Affordability is there, maybe not quite as much as some of the other places, but still be relatively affordable compared to Western Europe. Yep, the Danube River and everything, really beautiful, and good nightlife, and yeah, just overall good vibes and good scenery. So I think Budapest would be my number 5 pick. So number 6, 7, and 8 are all pretty close. I'm gonna say it really depends. Like 6, 7, 8 are pretty much a tie. It's gonna be Belgrade, Serbia, Bucharest, Romania, and Sofia, Bulgaria. All these are a tie for me because they're all like capital cities of a Eastern or Central European country, and they have similar vibes, honestly. Like Belgrade, good nightlife, relatively affordable. Some history, not as much as some of the other cities, but has some history, but mostly more of an urban feel, I would say. Urban feel, like if you're looking for like a Eastern European type city with a lot of urban feel and nightlife, that's basically Belgrade. And I felt Bucharest is the same way. It's like another very urban city, very big. Bucharest is a huge city. You can't like really walk it. It's just a big city in terms of area and also population too. It's a pretty big city. But yeah, I felt like Belgrade and Bucharest are both kind of like that. Yeah, both cities that are like not really walkable. Bucharest is even bigger. And what I found out about Romania is that yeah, Bucharest is probably more diverse. So it has probably the most diverse population out of any Eastern European city that's not Istanbul. Yeah, so it's a huge diverse mix of peoples, but the thing about Bucharest is it was really affordable. Like I just came back from Bucharest, right? It's really cheap. Probably out of all the Eastern European cities I've been to, except for Bosnia, Bucharest in Romania was probably the cheapest. It's cheaper than Serbia, I think. So yeah, so I would put Belgrade and Bucharest around the same level. Both big urban Eastern European type capital cities. Bucharest is more diverse. Bucharest is more affordable. Both have good nightlife. Yeah, so Belgrade and Bucharest both roughly the same tier for me. and both have like some history, but not like too much of it compared to some of the other cities. But both have like a little bit of history. But it's mostly about the urban feel and the nightlife and stuff. Yeah, I would say that. Yeah, just Bucharest is like a more diverse, and it's a little bit more affordable. And it's a bigger city, not quite as walkable, but otherwise pretty similar to Belgrade. Sofia is interesting because it also has a lot of history. Maybe more so than Belgrade and Bucharest, actually. Well, actually, maybe not Belgrade, but still, I think Sofia has a decent amount of history. A lot of churches, mosques, synagogues, cathedrals, stuff like that. It's got a mix of different religions, because Bulgaria is like really, it's really close to like Asia actually as well. So it's really at the bottom of like the Balkan area, I guess. So it's really got that mix of Ottoman influence as well as the Roman influence on it as well. So, and it is Soviet influence too, because it used to be communist. So really Bulgaria has a bunch of religious influence. So you see that in architecture. Although architecture-wise, I think Bucharest is still more diverse. So Bulgaria is not quite as diverse as Sofia, I should say. Sofia is not quite as diverse as Bucharest is. But it's more walkable, and it's got a little bit more nature in it. So it's got like a lot of parks and stuff like that. Now, Bucharest has a nice park too, but not as many as Sofia. So if you guys like nature, a little bit more history, a little bit more definitely more walkable actually. Sofia has that over Bucharest. The nightlife isn't quite as good in Sofia though. So like, yeah, not as much happening going on. It's not quite as diverse as Bucharest, and it's honestly was a little bit more expensive than Bucharest was. Bucharest was actually cheaper than Sofia. So yeah, I would say that compared to Belgrade and Bucharest, Sofia doesn't have quite as much nightlife. It is more walkable. It's got a little bit more nature, and yeah, I mean, really, if you guys are looking for Eastern European cities, I think these three are all on the same tier. Really, just depends what you're looking for. If you're looking for nightlife, then Bucharest, Belgrade, and also Budapest. These three are the best for nightlife. The urban feel of the city, I think Belgrade and Bucharest all have that. Yeah, Sofia is like if you want a little bit more nature, a little bit more walkable, then it has that. Maybe a little bit more history too, but it's not quite as diverse. So those are my top 8. Then last pick would be Mostar, Bosnia. Now, the thing about Mostar, Bosnia is like, it's not that I'm saying don't visit Mostar or anything like that. It's just that it's like the smallest out of all the Eastern European cities I've been to in terms of size and population. And it's also in the poorest country out of all the Eastern European countries I've been to. Bosnia is like really poor. It's below Bulgaria, and Bulgaria's income is pretty low already, but Bosnia is actually even below that. So out of all the Eastern European countries I've been to, Bosnia is probably the poorest, and Mostar is the smallest city I've been to out of all the Eastern European cities. So it's actually Central Europe, but whatever, I'm counting as Eastern Europe. Yeah, I didn't go to the capital, Sarajevo. I originally was planning to go to Sarajevo, because that's actually the capital of Bosnia, but I decided not to because I wanted to see this really beautiful fairy tale looking bridge, and the background and everything is called Stari Most. So that's the main star attraction of Mostar, is this beautiful bridge, and then you have the Ottoman type architecture around it, which looks almost like a fairy tale. It looks really beautiful. So I really wanted to visit that. So the Stari Most, I think is what it's called, and that's the main star attraction of Mostar. And there's really no other reason to go there. Like, that's the only thing that's there. So if you want to get that scenery, that beautiful, fairy tale like background, then that's there. But honestly, that's it. There's not much else in Mostar. So yeah, that's why it's the last on my list. It's like you go there just to take that picture of that beautiful fairy tale scenery, and then that's it. There's nothing else really there, because it's a pretty small city. It's not much else there except for that. So that's why I have to put it at the bottom there. Not to say don't go visit it. I mean, if you guys really want to take that kind of picture, then it's nice. You know, it's maybe worth it just for that picture, but there's really nothing else there other than that. So yeah, that's why Mostar, Bosnia is probably last on my list here to recommend. So yeah, that's my rankings of the different Eastern European cities I've been to. Now, there's still a lot of Eastern European countries I haven't been to. So I haven't been to any of the Baltic states, like Latvia, Lithuania, or Estonia. I haven't been to Belarus. I haven't been to Ukraine, because there's a war going on right now, obviously. I haven't been to Montenegro. I haven't been to Macedonia. I haven't been to Slovenia or Slovakia or Albania. So there's a whole bunch of Eastern European countries I still haven't been to. Greece as well. Even though Greece, like, it's technically Eastern Europe, but it's more associated with Western Europe, I would say. So Greece, even though geographically Eastern Europe, yes, but more associated with Western Europe. So anyways, that's just my disclaimer. Out of the ones I've been to, I haven't been to still a lot of Eastern European countries I haven't been to, obviously. Okay. So now I can rank my Western European cities I've been to. Now, disclaimer, I haven't been to as many Western European cities. I haven't been to the big ones. I haven't been to London. I haven't been to Paris. I haven't been to Madrid, Barcelona, Lisbon, Amsterdam. The Brussels, right? Or the Nordic ones. So I haven't been to Finland or Sweden or Norway or Copenhagen. Would be nice to go to in Denmark. Like, I haven't been to any of those. Would be nice. So that's a big, you got to take that with a grain of salt, right? I haven't been to a lot of the Western European countries. Ireland, haven't been there. I did have a brief layover in Iceland, but no, that was it. So yeah, I could only give you guys my ranking based on a few different Western European cities I've been to. So yeah, okay, out of the ones I've been to, I've only been to 4 Western European countries, which is Germany, Austria, Italy, and Switzerland. So I can only give you my opinion on those 4. Out of the ones I've been to, the cities I've been to, I think in Western Europe, my number 1 is Rome, Italy. So Rome, it's obviously the capital of Italy. It's got thousands of years of history. So I love history. So Rome's obviously got a lot of that, right? The Colosseum, the Roman ruins. So it's got tons of history. But it's also a really big city. There's lots to do. Great food. Great for shopping, right? All the luxury brands and stuff. So Rome has a lot of that going for it. So I think for all those reasons, I think Rome would probably be my number 1. I actually didn't get enough time to be in Rome. Now, keep in mind, Vatican City, does that count? I have been to Vatican City as well. Technically, it's its own country, but it's within Rome. So if you count Vatican City, then that's like another thing that's within Rome to go to. So yeah, that's another thing as well. And that's if you want to go to visit the St. Peter's Basilica, Sistine Chapel, that stuff's in Vatican City. So which is within Rome. So that's another thing to count for as well. Okay, and let's see, after Rome would be, now I'm not counting Milan because I've only had 1 night there and I didn't really explore much. I'm not counting Pompeii because that was just a tourist spot. I'm also not counting Grindelwald / Interlaken because that was pretty much also a tourist spot. So my number 2 is Venice, Italy. So Venice is it's a world famous city. Obviously everyone knows Venice. It's a beautiful city, the city of canals and everything. It's, again, just like Istanbul. It's a city I recommend everyone to visit at least once in their lifetime. I'd probably only go there once though because it's really expensive. But it's worth a visit, right? It's a historic city. It used to be its own state. It used to be the Republic of Venice. It's the history, the beauty of the city, and everything. The food is not like that special compared to other parts of Italy, but I would say just go for the scenery, the unique canals and everything, and then the history, right, of Venice, and that's it. But it's a unique city worth visiting. So anyways, it's a world famous city, obviously, so I think Venice would be my number 2. Number 3, Florence, probably. Florence is a nice city. Great history, of course. It's the center of the Renaissance era, so it's got lots of history there. Great food as well. Actually, the number 1 food I remember eating from Italy on my Italian trip was the Florentine sandwich, believe it or not. Yeah, this one small sandwich place in Florence that was the most memorable eating experience for me in Italy. More than the Naples pizza, more than the Florentine steak. Yeah, more than all the other stuff, the pasta and everything. I think the thing I remember the most was the Florentine sandwich. It was so good. You could pick from all these types of meats, all these types of cheeses, all these types of breads. Oh, it was amazing. And great shopping place as well. It has all the luxury stuff. Although you can do that in Rome too, but yeah, Florence has that too. So yeah, it's got, good shopping, it's got history, it's got the food. So Florence would probably be my number 3. And then number 4, probably Thun, Switzerland. So I've only been there for a little bit, but really liked it. It's got this nice small town feel to it. It's not a big city. Me and my wife just stopped there briefly, but it was really nice. Like beautiful, just a really beautiful small town European vibe to it. And we went there in the winter, so everything was covered with this beautiful snow and everything. So it was nice. So Thun, Switzerland would probably be my number 4 pick. 5, kind of a tie. I would say Munich or Vienna is about the same for me, because they're pretty similar in many ways. So Munich and Vienna both have lots of history. They both have a huge palace. Munich has the Nymphenburg Palace, which is a giant palace. Vienna has the Schönbrunn Palace, and yeah, those are both massive palaces. That'll take you a day it'll take you an entire day just to go around there. And then yeah, walking around the city is really big. Vienna and Munich, you need a car or some kind of public transportation to get around the city, because they're both really big cities. So yeah, the history, the palaces, yeah, the fact that it's not really walkable for either of those cities. Both really expensive, obviously. I mean, yeah, whenever you go to like a German-speaking place, I was like, damn, it's expensive. Especially since I came from Eastern Europe at the time. Man, the prices were just, yeah, crazy. Yeah, both speak German, obviously. Yeah, I find Vienna and Munich pretty similar. I mean, maybe Vienna is like a little bit more important in history because it's like used to be the center of the Habsburg dynasty and everything. Also, if you like music, Vienna's a lot of famous composers came from Vienna. But yeah, more or less Munich and Vienna about the same for me. Yeah, they're both nice cities to visit. I wouldn't stay there for long because it's so expensive. Not much to do, not too much nightlife. Like, you don't go to Vienna or Munich for the nightlife, for sure, because there's not too much of that. You go there for like the historic stuff, maybe for the music stuff for Vienna, but yeah, not too much for the nightlife. Food there is pretty similar, right? German food, so not too much difference there. But yeah, I wouldn't stay there like too long just because it was really expensive to be there. But yeah, I would say Munich and Vienna are about the same for me at number 5 and 6, so it's kind of like a tie. And then number 7 for me would be Naples. Yeah, Naples, Italy. Now, I'm not saying like Naples is a bad city, don't go there or anything like that. It's just that compared to the other Italian cities I've been to, there wasn't as much to do in Naples. It was like, just go to a bunch of museums, eat some great food. That's about it. I find Naples is like just for the food. If you like Italian food, like the birthplace of the pizza was in Naples, right? So yeah, go to Naples for the food. That's really it. I'm not too much of a foodie. My wife's not a foodie either. So neither of us really enjoy Naples all that much. I mean, they're still good to go there, but it's like you go to Naples for the food. I mean, it doesn't have as much to see as Rome, Florence, or Venice. So yeah, it's pretty much like, what do I remember from Naples? Just the food and the museums. That's pretty much about it. So that's why Naples ends up being my number 7 here. And then in last place would be Zurich, Zurich, Switzerland. The thing about Zurich is I don't really remember anything from there. It's like, what was in Zurich? It's the biggest city in Switzerland, but like I don't remember too much from there. Like, what did it even have? It has some history, but nothing that stands out. It's also really, really expensive. Like, Switzerland is probably the most expensive European country I've been to, and like Vienna and Munich were expensive, but Switzerland is another level. So like, yeah, it was really, really expensive in Switzerland. I don't remember anything really special from Zurich. It was like, okay, me and my wife took some photo on a bridge. when it was sunset time. That was nice, but I can do that anywhere else in Europe too. Yeah, like I just don't have any interesting recollection of Zurich. So I just know it's the biggest city of Switzerland, and yeah, it has some history and stuff, but there's really not too much other than that. So anyway, Zurich ranks last on my list of Western European cities I've been to. So yeah, that's pretty much it. That's my ranking. So if you were to combine all the European cities I've been to together, I think it would go something like this. So Prague number 1 still, and then Split number 2 still. 3, Istanbul still number 3. Krakow still number 4. So the first 4 from Eastern Europe are still there, unchanged. 5 would now be, let's see, 5 would now be Rome, I think. 6 would now be Venice. 7, probably Budapest. 8, Florence, probably. And then 9, 10, and 11. Probably it's gonna be, yeah, Bucharest, Belgrade, and Sofia. So 12 and 13 would probably be Vienna and Munich. Yeah, those two are pretty close. And then 14, Naples, probably. And then 15, Mostar. And then 16 is Zurich. Sorry, I just don't know what's in Zurich. That's still dead last for me. So yeah, I mean that's 16 cities I've been to in total. So yeah, that's my ranking of the 16 European cities I've been to in total. And again, I'm not ranking Milan because I was just there for a night. I didn't really explore Milan at all. Pompeii is just a tourist spot. Grindelwald is just a tourist spot, so I didn't count those. So I think that's it. Yeah, let me know if you guys agree or disagree with my list. And you guys are going to Western Europe or Eastern Europe. I feel like Eastern Europe is more worth it to me in general, because I'm like, the thing about Western Europe is like it's way too touristy, and I feel like because it's so touristy, there's also all these shops trying to sell you all these luxury goods, which I don't like. I'm not a guy who really like is into that luxury stuff. It's all marketing and stuff anyways, so I'm not really too into that, to showing off luxury brands. So Western Europe's a little bit too much into that. It's like I was just walking down Munich, and then some of the historic buildings were converted into like Gucci's and Chanel's and like Louis Vuittons and stuff, and it was like, it's such a shame, you know, they converted those historic looking buildings into like these luxury shops. I didn't like that. It's like there's so many more tourists in Western Europe, and there's a lot of, well, yeah, because there's so many tourists, there's also going to be more shops selling you luxury, pushing you luxury goods, and there's also going to be more thieves as well, more pickpockets and thieves in Western Europe, because they know there's going to be more tourists there. So that's all my problems with Western Europe, and it's more expensive, obviously, way more expensive than Eastern Europe. So yeah, I just don't feel as much need to go to Western Europe, because I realized that, okay, Western Europe historically was more powerful than Eastern Europe. Like it was more influential, right? Everyone knows the British Empire, Portuguese Empire, Spanish Empire, and everything, the French Empire. Yes, and the Germany, right? Obviously huge influence on history, but the Prussian Empire, I know all about that. But like seriously, if you just think about, okay, am I going there to European history? Eastern Europe has as much history as Western Europe, honestly. It's just that people don't know as much about it. So Eastern Europe has as much history. All the beautiful castles and stuff you can also find in Eastern Europe. Now, it might not have the palaces. It doesn't have the Versailles Palace. It doesn't have the Schönbrunn Palace. It doesn't have those kind of palaces. But for the castles and stuff like that, yeah, Eastern Europe has those too. And it has as much history. All the cathedrals and stuff like that, Eastern Europe has that too. It's also way cheaper, more affordable. In my experience, the people there are actually more friendlier, speak more English. I'm not saying Western Europeans are not friendly, but Eastern Europeans, in my experience, a little bit more friendlier. They also seem to be more willing to speak English to me. Like some of the Western Europeans, they don't really speak like as willingly. There's like when I was in Austria and Germany, they're like really speaking German to me, basically. In Zurich as well, because Zurich is German speaking. They're like kind of just speaking German to me. Whereas when I go to Eastern Europe, they actually make an effort to speaking English with me and stuff. They're more willing. Also felt it was more safe. I don't know, there seems to be some kind of perception that Eastern Europe is not safe. No, it's actually safer than Western Europe. I never had any issues walking at night alone in Eastern Europe. Whereas Western Europe, there's actually all these thieves and pickpockets and people like that, right? but I never felt like that in Eastern Europe. I always felt safe in Eastern Europe. So even when I was walking down like, yeah, the streets of like Bosnia with like bombed out buildings beside me and stuff, I never felt dangerous. Like, no, Eastern Europe felt fine to me. Never felt dangerous. So yeah, for all these reasons, I think I personally prefer Eastern Europe. It's cheaper, there's less tourists, less stores trying to push luxury items onto you, it's safer. People seem to be more willing to speak English with you. And then if you stay in all these guest houses and stuff when you're traveling, you get to meet lots of people. So it's a good way to meet people when you're traveling, especially when you're traveling alone. You get to meet a lot of young people traveling when you're staying in guest houses and in hostels and stuff like that. So it's a good place to meet people. Eastern Europe, in my experience, also has better nightlife as well. And also, in my own personal opinion, Eastern Europe has better looking girls. So for those of you guys who care about that, I think Eastern European girls are a little bit slimmer, a little bit more feminine, you know, just relatively speaking, compared to Western European girls. So also like just overall better nightlife, I think. So anyways, my opinion, I would pick Eastern Europe over Western Europe. And that's probably why I've always leaned towards traveling in Eastern Europe. It's just been more convenient for me. Just that's more the stuff I like. As soon as I go to Western Europe, it's like oh my god, it's so expensive. All these like luxury brands are pushing stuff onto me. There's all these tourists everywhere, especially Asian tourists, right? Like Chinese tourists and stuff like that. They all come to Western Europe. Not too many Chinese tourists in Eastern Europe. I guess they don't know about that yet. But yeah, Western Europe is like you have all these Chinese tourists everywhere, which is kind of annoying. So you know, obviously Western European girls are still slim compared to like your typical American, Canadian girl, but yeah, I mean Eastern European girls are still even slimmer than that. So I'm just saying relatively. Yeah, anyways, this is my own personal opinion about Eastern Europe versus Western Europe. Yeah, let me know if you guys agree or disagree with my ranking or my thoughts on where to travel. Yeah, probably next up I would want to go to Greece or Copenhagen, Denmark. I think whenever Ukraine opens up again will be nice too, but they're probably not going to be for the next few years at least. But those would be my next places to go. If I ever get a chance to go to Russia, I'd like to go to St. Petersburg as well. But you know, sometime way off in the future, who knows. Anyways, yeah, it's my own personal opinion on Eastern Europe versus Western Europe. Let me know what you guys think. Yeah, as always, thanks for watching.